Welcome to my Scrap and Space. I'm Joni Martin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator located in Southwest Wisconsin. And today I'm going to show you a quick and easy card using a beautiful suite. We're adding a couple extra pieces in, but nothing too much. Sometimes you just want a quick and easy card. Not every card has to be an elaborate piece of art. Let me show you one that goes together quickly and I think has great presence. So I'm talking about the Mediterranean Bloom Suite. We used it in class this month. And I just wanted to focus on the lemons. It has beautiful prints, but there's something about navy and yellow that just speaks to me. Now, if you wanted to do something else with this card, it would be really easy to add a sentiment here or a sentiment here or some more bling, but I just kind of wanted to go, let's just give the lemons the highlight this time. So let me show you how easy this card comes together. This Night and Navy print is from Mediterranean Blooms. This wood piece is from a paper pack also in the catalog called Country Woods. So now I'm going to show you how I piece this card front, but there's an easier way if you don't want to do that. You could cut a piece of any of the navy prints in this suite. I chose this one, but there's a lot of them that would work with it. You could just cut a piece that's the same size as your card base, which is 4 by 5 1/4. I chose not to do that, partly because sometimes when I talk with team members or customers, they're looking for ways to use smaller pieces of paper, and this is a way to do that. But do what works for you. I'm going to put, you don't need a lot of this glue. It's very strong. And I'm going to glue this piece on each side. And because I'm using the glue, I can move it down so that it's covering each side. There we go. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I love these lemons. I just think, again, I love the yellow and the blue, but I also like the lemons. I think they're so, for lack of a better word, fresh. You know, they just breathe some light into this card. So these pieces, the numbers are on my blog, but these pieces are 1 inch by 5 1/4. Then I'm adding a wood piece that's 2 1/2. And I'm just going to lay that over the top. And as you can see from here, see how we have this much overlap? You could, if you didn't have a lot of this wood paper, you could cut that down and just kind of have it butt up against there. And 2 inches would probably do it for you. Yes, it would. I made it slightly larger so that if I didn't glue on straight or customer didn't, we didn't lose the card. We have a little more space to play with. So again, isn't that a pretty color too? We have some beautiful papers in the 24-25 annual Stampin' Up catalog. If you don't have that catalog, reach out to your favorite demonstrator. If you don't have a demonstrator, reach out to me. I'd love to become your favorite demonstrator, and I love giving out catalogs. There we go. And that's going to go here. Now we're going to, and I built mine on a 4 by 5 1/4 base, partly because I was using smaller pieces and partly because I'm now going to wrap twine around it, and you need some stability for that. If you don't, your paper will begin to kind of pull in, and it's not a good look. So I have 3 rows of twine and a bow. There are lots of ways to do this. I'm going to show you what I kind of call the easy peasy way. All right, so it doesn't really matter. You just want to be at one end because whichever end you put that on is going to be the top of your card. I'm going to grab tear and tape. No, I have some right in front of me. And I'm using, oh, I can do it here so you can see what I'm doing. So if I want to add that below here, I'm going to go about 1 1/4 inches in. I love how easy this glass mat is to use. So 1 1/4 inches in, I have a piece of tear and tape here. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Let's do it up here where you can see it. 1.25 inches in. And I'm just ripping off a piece of tear and tape. You may have another way you like to attach twine. You, again, do what works for you. Okay. And I think it's the back of the card, no one's going to see it. I'm going to mark at 1.25 inches. If I start out straight, oh, I did this one down here. I'm going to have to go this way. Sorry, guys. If I start out with it straight, it's going to stay straight for me, and that's going to work. So now we're going to peel off the back of this tape, and start attaching our twine. And because I'm doing this on the glass mat, it's not going to stick like it would to grid paper and rip. And I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. I am a big believer in odd numbers. I think, look at that, see right there. They're more pleasing aesthetically. So 1, and I'm going to go down from there. Bring that under here. Oh, look at that, I am off a little bit. There we go, that looks better. 2, and see this tape is catching it each time as it goes around. And 3. I'm going to trim it. And we're going to come back to this. We're not done with this. I kind of like mine bunched together. That's your card. You can do whatever you want with it. And then, you don't need me to tell you that, do you? You already know you can do what you want with your card. My card base is Knight of Navy. And I'm going to use my bone folder to get a tight fold. Okay, this is now going to get attached to here. I'm attaching flat to flat, meaning there's no embossing. And those of you who know me are like, what? You made a card without embossing? I emboss so many card fronts. It's just a look I like. And that's going to go here. If you're someone who likes layers and feels you'd like a mat on here, I would go down 1/4 or 1/8, depending on how much mat you want to see. Let's say 1/4 for easy numbers. This now becomes 3 3/4 by 5, and then you could attach a white mat underneath there, and that would work too. Look at my beautiful lemon circle. This is cut with the Spotlight on Nature dies. Oh, stunning circle dies that have different cutouts around them. It's gorgeous. We're going to pop this up over there, and pop it up means I'm going to grab some dimensionals and put them on the back, probably more than I really need. I have so many partial sheets down here. I'm glad to get some of them used up. Then I'm going to grab my take your pick tool and peel off the back. So they come off of the sheet already sticky on one side, and then we're going to peel off the back, get the sticky on the other. There we go. This does have an up and down, so I want to make sure my lemons aren't like hanging upside down. This looks right, and I'm just kind of centering it. And then, before I go any further, I have a Wink of Stella pen. If you're not familiar with Wink of Stella, think of like a glitter brush. And I haven't used it today, so I'm going to shake it. I'm just getting this glue out of the way before I knock it over and make some noise. I'm going to shake it, and then I'm going to try to bring this up so you can see what I'm doing. Here, let me just get started. I have a lot of these started, and sometimes they're near the end, but this looks like a pretty good one. I'm taking the glitter brush, and just on these smaller yellow flowers, I'm just adding a touch of glimmer. It goes really fast. It dries quickly. And all of a sudden, it's just enough when your card is finished to catch your eye like, ooh, what's that? Is there a little bit of glimmer there? And you may not be able to see it here. You're going to have to trust me. But in the light, I have some shine. Okay. Now on our other card, we had a bow. Let's talk about making a bow. I always start out with a lot more twine than I need because it's just easier. Sometimes my hands have a great day, and more often than not they have not such a great day. They don't always hold on to things, and so a longer twine is easier for me to use. You could just make a bow and attach it, or you could attach the bow to your 3 pieces of twine that are here, and that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to reach under here, lift that up, and sneak one end under, just like that. I find that the tails hang the right way if I do the bow upside down. I don't know if it really matters, but for me that works better. So I'm going to bring this up and just make a knot, you know, kind of like you usually do. I'm just going to catch it. And then for me, when I'm using ribbon or twine on a card, I do like the 2 loops, okay? So I make 2 loops and then I knot those loops. I was lucky enough to be a special education teacher for many years in my educational career, and I ended it in middle school, my favorite age. And if kids came to me by middle school and couldn't tie their shoes, this is how we taught them. 2 loops, we made a knot, and then we knotted it again. And notice before that second knot, I just tucked that other tail down below. Oops, just a second here. There we go. Now that bow's looking a little wonky, right? Can you see? It's going sideways, so let's tell it who's boss. I'm grabbing a glue dot. And our glue dots come on a roll, and I'm opening it up. They're on the inside here. And I'm pulling back my paper till I come to a glue dot. I'm going to lift it up. There we go. Really, guys, there we go. And I'm going to stick it right under that knot. And I'm going to kind of lay the knot down the way I want it to go. So we're like saying, this is who's boss here. I am. This is how you're going to lay on the card. You're going to go just like this. Yep, look at that. Then I clearly don't need this much of a tail, so we'll trim. And seriously, that's all there is. Now you could add some embellishments here. Like I said, you could add a little tag and put a sentiment. I'm choosing not to do that. Partly because I think it's going to be a note card. Partly because I can then make the inside whatever I want. When I do make the inside whatever I want, because you could add a birthday greeting on the inside and or thinking of you or a speedy recovery, you don't need anything on the front. When I stamp or write a note, I will do that first, just in case it doesn't turn out the way I want, and I can use the other side or another piece. But once I have it looking the way I want, I have a 1/2-inch strip of that pretty lemon paper, and I'm going to glue that to the top. And when you do that, and trim it of course, look what it does against that navy. Just pops. The other thing we're going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have this pretty lemon print on my envelope flap. Won't that be great to get this card and it has that sunny lemon print on it? I think this would be a wishing you a speedy recovery, a great kind of card. Yep. Or thinking of you on these days. We all know somebody who's just hitting a hard spot. This would be a great card to let them know we're thinking of them. There we go. I'm not going to glue this down because I don't do that till I stamp or write in case I muck it up. But we can do the envelope flap. And you could do this with any print, any wood. If you don't like the wood, you could do just a solid color. You could pick the yellows or the greens to do something with. Oops. Then we're just going to trim like so. And as we say around here, easy peasy. We have a pretty card. We just have to add something on the inside when we know what we need. I like to have these cards on hand so I can add a sentiment. When I need something, I don't have to make a whole card. It's ready to go except for the sentiment. There we go. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it more than you know. Whether you're watching it on Facebook or watching one of my YouTube, it's a great way to support a small business. and I appreciate it. Until next time, take care and keep crafting. It's good for you.